Welcome back to the party. It is me, your girl, BrittReacts, and today we're going to react to Jeff. I tried to say that all fast, and look what happened. Jeff Foxworthy's Facts of Life. Let's see what happens.
But they have a rule in my neighborhood. If you walk your dog and your dog does his business in somebody else's yard, you need to get a little plastic bag, pick it up, and dispose of it.
Yes.
And I know the dogs are confused. The dog's like, wait a minute, you're taking it back home? Why did we have to walk three
blocks?
I could have pooped in the living room, saved us both some embarrassment. What a stupid rule. Why would they have us pick it up? It's fertilizer. It makes the grass grow. Lord, it's not like some child is going to step in it. A kid hadn't played in the yard since 1982.
Okay, fair. I was just going to say, it doesn't have to be a child, though. I cannot tell you how many aggravated times I have stepped inside of someone's dog's releases. And that is why. And nothing to me is worse than it being on the sidewalk. Because that is criminal. Jail. Immediately. Call the police.
Like some child is going to step in it. A kid hadn't played in the yard since 1982. You know what's sad? We have an entire generation that has no idea how to get dog poop off the bottom of their shoe. But when I was growing up, we played in the yard every day. And every day, somebody stepped in dog poop. And when it was your turn, you knew what to do about it.
You go to the edge of the curb.
Over to the curb.
And scrape it off.
Scrape the biggest part off on the edge of the curb.
And then go wash it off.
You would find a puddle. And you would swirl the bottom of your shoe around in the puddle.
And then you go to the grass.
To the grass. And do the brush stroke back and forth.
Am I that old? He did say 1982. Kids haven't played in the yard since then. I was born in 88. All right. I like being on this side of things.
Back and forth.
That's funny.
You would find a little bitty piece of
Stick and get it out of the inside of your
and you
shoe.
would sit down on the curb and you would pick it out of the zigzag pattern on the bottom.
That's it.
Then you wore those shoes to church the next day. And nobody in that church knew you'd stepped in dog poop.
I like it. Smart man.
See, when it comes to technology, my wife and I laugh about this because we're in our mid-50s, and my wife says we are the bologna in the technology bologna sandwich. We're right in the middle because our parents can't text and our children can't write.
Right. That is so
My kids don't even think you
unfunny
need
but
to study.
true.
They're like, Dad, if you want to know something, you just
Google it.
And to a point, they're right. I mean, when I was growing up, if you were watching TV and somebody said, what was that guy in? You'd go, well, he looks familiar. That was it. Now you're watching TV, somebody goes, what was that guy in? Somebody goes, he was the janitor on Joey. Of course he was. But I try to tell my kids, I said, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can learn from Google. I said, but there's just as much stuff you can't learn from Google. You only learn it from life experience. You'll usually learn most of it the hard way. It's stuff that's not Googleable.
It's a word.
I don't know if that's a word.
Oh, I gave it to you, Chad.
But I call them the facts of life. It's stuff you can't Google, like this.
This is like the way that this keeps coming up in my life. It feels like the oddest synchronicities. I was literally just talking to somebody last night about how my daughter, who, if you don't know, I'm homeschooling this year. It's her first year homeschooling. And I just am realizing how much of the fundamental things they are no longer teaching in school, a la cursive, money, like how to identify bills and coins, count them up, the decimals, all these things, the calendar, all of these things are just being like brushed over in school. And it's scary. And he's right. He's like, his parents don't know how to text and his kids don't know how to write. These kids don't know how to, like, I have so many teacher friends that are like, these kids can't spell, they can't write a paper. They won't even know how to sign a check. They don't even know what a check is. Like, it just is like, it's scary. It's very scary. All right. I'm ready to hear the facts of life. I also know that there is a show called The Facts of Life. My mother used to watch it all the time.
But I call them the facts of life. It's stuff you can't Google. Like this, fact of life. If you are trying to get to the bathroom in an emergency situation, it is not a wise idea to unbutton your pants in transit trying to save a couple of seconds.
Sounds like a man
because
issue.
the muscles that guard the floodgates will interpret the unbuttoning as the signal to abandon their post. And the 2 seconds you saved on the button are nullified by the hour and a half you spend mopping and doing laundry.
Fact of life. Life taught you
You
that,
only learn
not
that
Google.
the hard way. Fact of life. If you are going to see a scary movie at the
Not
movie
me.
theater, it will be much more entertaining if you can find a seat directly behind a group of black women. Because not only...
Don't go in there. I told you. Now see that. Watch.
Seat directly behind a group of black women. Because not only will you get the scary movie, you will also get their running commentary of the scary movie. Oh, look at this. She running around in her panties like that. Girl, put some drawers on. And put that hair up before he snatched that weave out your head. Now, can you see this girlfriend? She going back in the house. No, she going down to the basement. Girl, get your shit and get out.
He right behind you.
Fact of life, women always
Hilarious.
have more questions than men have answers to. Great example of this. 6-7 months ago, I get a text one day. The text says, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck.
And you just
I
said,
walk into
okay.
the kitchen where my wife is. I said, hey, I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck.
Yeah, what happened? Where did it happen? We need details. You're just gonna say, okay, I'll pray for him. How do you know what to pray for? Are we now praying for his soul that it rests in peace? Are we praying for his healing, his recovery? Are we praying for his car? Are we praying for his big right toe? I need to know. And y'all just be like,
I walk into the kitchen where my wife is. I said, hey, I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. She said, was he driving? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. Were Carol and the kids in the car with him? I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. Were the people in the other car hurt? I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. What hospital did they take him to? I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom.
I
He was
need
in a
all
bad
of those
wreck.
answers. Find
She
out.
said, well, you don't know anything. What do you know? I know you
just
need to
got
pray
a
for
bad
Tom. I
wreck.
just got a text that said he was in a bad wreck. That's all I
Listen.
got. I ain't holding anything back. That's it. People pointing at each other here.
I promise you I have that conversation with my husband at least once a week. Like, don't come to me unless you have asked questions. Like, because I'm going to have questions. Like, he doesn't ask a question about anything. He's so go with the flow. I'm like, no, I need details. Jeff Fox. Why do I struggle to say his name? Jeff Foxworthy is funny. Which TV show do I know him from? I feel like he's on a TV show from like the 90s, a nostalgic show for me. Let me know in the comments if you know what show I am referring to, and go and have the day you deserve.